How's it going? And welcome to the Coffee and Scotch Esports Show. I'm your host, David Bowman, and today I have a very special guest. I have Brett McDonald of Vantage Sports. How you doing, Brett?
Doing great. Good to be with you, David.
Awesome, awesome. Now, obviously, if you're from the esports scene, you may not recognize the name Vantage Sports. So Brett, can you give us a little background of where your company comes from and how you're getting into the esports scene?
Absolutely. So we actually started in traditional sports and in the NBA in specifically. We have a product in the NBA that gathers new data across the range of gameplay. So we track 16,000 unique data points in every NBA game. It's data that no one else in the world has. And then we create products on top of that for our clients. We have professional teams that are clients, the Milwaukee Bucks, Phoenix Suns, etc. We've got media clients like TNT. We work with Brent Berry every time he does a telecast and prep him for the game. We work with wagering clients. So we have a number of different people that use the output of that data. And we've been doing that business for a couple of years. It's been going well. And as we were growing, we were deciding where to go next. And we've got some investors from the NFL world. Vernon Davis is an investor, the tight end, recently the 49ers, now with the Broncos. And so, they would impress saying, hey, come to the NFL, or how about European soccer? And we've got a few guys on staff that were big league fans, big esports fans in general. And they'd always been pushing us to esports. And, the market, it seemed just really young to me, too young to engage with it. But the more we looked at it and we started talking to pro teams, we decided that was a place where we could have actually the most impact. And so we're coming from this traditional sports background, and we are doing essentially the same thing now in esports that we've done in traditional sports in the NBA.
Nice, nice, and I'm excited that you guys are getting into esports because as I know your one of your partners, Kevin, reached out to me, and I started doing some research and background into your company, just kind of seeing what you were. And the more I read, the more exciting I was. And one of the most unique things I found in my research was I just typed in for Vantage Sports and ESPN, and the amount of articles that came up just within ESPN where they used your company to look at a certain statistic to prove a point and everything like that. Like, to me, that screams huge credibility, which is exciting that you're now getting into League of Legends, because the way you guys break down the stats, both from now I'm forgetting the words, but from a viewpoint, from like a fan's viewpoint, where they're like, well, what's his 3-point percentage versus something, I think you guys pointed out in the NBA, it was points based on screens. And like, you had a video on your site about Curry, on how even though he would initially get a pass that led to a screen and then get to a point, it might be 2 or 3 movements down the road, but his initial thing led the defense to be out of position. And I think all that data that you bring is exciting, and that you're going to bring those techniques to esports. So what does Vantage Sports want to do in the League of Legends scene exactly?
We have pretty big visions in League and in esports in general. So we started by partnering with a number of pro teams. I mentioned Team Liquid. We have, I think, most now of North America, and moving into Europe now. Splice and some others have signed with us. And what we do for them is create products for their day-to-day use for analysts and coaches. And but it's just a starting point for us. So that's what we've done historically in the NBA, is just work with professionals. So that's where we're starting, and where we did start. But where we really want to go is to bring our analysis and our player development products to the masses, to non-pros, and help them to get better, help them with their goals in the game. And so we have a pretty big vision, and in the coming weeks, actually, we'll have some product announcements about how we're going about that, which I'd love to come on and discuss. We'll be actually launching an entirely new league that's going to be kind of the minor leagues for people that want to go professional, in conjunction with some pro coaches. That'll include feedback. We're launching a player development product that's based on our pro tools. So we want to engage the everyday player with some of these professional tools that we're building for the top players.
Nice. That sounds really exciting, and I know that's something I've touched base with a few other guests on. Especially last week, I had on Team Complexity's team captain from the Dota scene, Kyle, and we were trying to touch base as far as like how can up and coming players who potentially want to go pro use statistics to help fine tune their game, and fine tune everything that in order to reach that level, in order to actually make it into the pro scene. And he was, he himself was a little bit resistant to the idea because Dota is a completely different scene than League of Legends as far as how the money and the investment works and stuff like that. But it's the prospect of that is very exciting in my opinion, because we definitely need something to help grow and develop this talent. And I know there's a few other companies out there that are working on similar things, like something similar, like the NFL's Rookie Symposium. I know a group's doing something similar to that with their online training and stuff like that. So it's exciting to see that you guys are starting that league down the road, because I think that will help, especially in North America, flourish a lot of talent, I think. So now, in the long run, though, how does your product for the actual active teams help lengthen a player's career?
We're too young to really know that. It's even in the NBA, we're young to fully see the effects of our products. We do prospects in the NBA, and we're still, you have to get down the road 5-6 years to see how our analysis and helping people draft has impacted that draft, and did they make the right decision or not. So it'll take time to work itself out. We have big visions, but we start small, and I just don't know yet. We hope that it's positive, that we can train people smarter, faster, and more efficiently, so that perhaps the days of playing 16 hours a day can maybe be cut back. A lot of your burnout comes from just playing so much. But again, we're kind of too young and too early to really see the effects of that.
Gotcha. So obviously you list off a few teams like Liquid, and you're moving into the European market. But can you say like what all the teams that are actually using your product?
Yeah, I mean, most are. I mean, even just recently, we had who's the newest team, Phoenix One. So there's a lot of turnover. Immortals is using our product, and I think all have it indicated that will sign on. Actual contracts in hand, or like I said, I think 4 to 5. But I anticipate as we get going that everyone will use us. And that's what they've indicated. But until we, actually sign the agreements, I won't put the cart before the horse.
Gotcha.
And the main thing is we're trying to add value. And so, coming on, I think Kevin reached out about our esports strategy and analytics conference.
Yes.
And so a lot of what we do is in this vein of, we're not actually looking to profit from it, but we want to add to the community and bring value there. And that's where the strategy analytics conference is something that we thought would be helpful. So, I've attended Sloan. Are you familiar with Sloan's MIT conference for traditional sports?
Yes.
Okay. So I've spoken there a number of years. We've attended a number of years, and it's this great venue for insiders. By insiders, I mean coaches, analysts, academics. It's a great venue for insiders and those that want to become insiders, people that want to become a coach or an analyst, to get together and to network and make connections, and to bounce ideas off each other. So you've got academics bringing in papers about data and analytics, and they're talking with an analyst for a team, and they might start using it. Or it's this great petri dish of ideas. And we didn't see a similar outlet in the esports world, and which is why we started this conference. So it'll be in August in LA. You go to the website vantagesports.gg/ESAC for Esports Strategy and Analytics Conference to check it out. We've got great speakers lined up, panels from coaches and analysts, and that's where this is. We've got papers that'll be coming from academics. So we're trying to duplicate this experience in the esports world. As you said, traditional sports have had these things, and we're trying to translate some of them over. And again, we'll see if there's value there. We'll see if people enjoy it. It's very much an experimental thing, but we're excited to try it and see if we can help push the game forward.
Nice, very nice. Yeah, and I do agree with you that having conferences, having those talks actually will add a lot of value. And as you said to your to the other question earlier, it may take some time to see that value. I mean, I look at GDC and their conferences and how, over the last 2 years now, they've actually added a day just for esports. And it shows that there's obviously a lot of people who are interested in learning more about the behind the scenes and the strategy and all that stuff in esports. So I think you guys are definitely, headed in the right direction with having that conference. And we'll have all the links into the description to these websites for any of you who want to check it out as well. But, what are your future plans like long term? Like, obviously you're in League of Legends right now. Are you planning on getting into other games down the road?
We are. So, we're a technology company. We're venture backed. So we have some great investors that are engaging with us, like William Morris Endeavor. They, have an IMG. They own IMG, so they have a big esports group that we work with. They've actually started or expanded their campus in Florida to include esports in high school. So they're kind of involved in this project as well. So, and we talk about it a lot. What we want to do is start providing the channels that traditional sports have enjoyed for up and comers and for up and coming players and coaches and analysts. So that's what we feel is lacking, right? You have this great, competitive scene. That's wonderful. But our competitive teams, our pro teams, talk to us a lot about how it's very difficult to find talent. It's not a good system right now with just ranked solo queue. The game is very different in solo queue. The data is not very rich. And so there's not kind of these processes in basketball. You want to go pro, great. You make your varsity team in high school, you get a college scholarship, you get through all these drafting websites, and you get looked at a million different ways, and then you get drafted. It's a clear path. That's what we want to build in esports, and not just in league. You're right. We'll move to other sports, other games. Most likely in the next probably 9 to 12 months. We'll raise some more capital, and we'll need to expand and grow. But we're starting in league. It's very, very popular, obviously, and then we'll expand most likely to every title that our partners have a team in, right? So if you look at our major partners, we will probably expand to every game. Some of our tools are actually ubiquitous to every game right now that our teams are using for post-game analysis, that they can actually use it for different games besides League already. So we definitely have visions to expand into all those other titles.
Very nice, very nice. Now, before we wrap it up here, was there anything else you wanted to talk about, or maybe, it's a little bit of a shameless plug section?
No, we'd love people to engage with us, right? So, business is based off, supplying demand, and we feel like there's demand. When the initial people we're talking to that are working with us, we're analyzing their games, and they're paying us to do that. We love to interact with people and hear what they want and hear what they don't have currently. So that's what we love to do. So if you want to interact with us, we encourage you to do so. Come to ESAC. I'd love to come back on and talk about our league when we launch. Working, like I said, with some great people on that. Hopefully it's a wonderful experience. We've got our player development platform that'll be launching. So we just want people to check it out, see if we're adding value, tell us how we can improve, and hopefully we're, like I said, can kind of work with the community to build value here.
Nice. Well, thank you very, very much, Brett, for being on the show. All you out there on the watching this, thank you for tuning in. We'll be here every week again, and check out also esports.online for more great content. All of Brett's links and contact info will be in the description, so that way you guys can reach out to his company for any additional info. Other than that, like, share, favorite this as you all see fit, and have a wonderful day.